Hello, hello. How is everybody? I hope that you guys can hear me okay. I'm Emerald Ambassador Melissa Shaver, and I'm super excited to be with everyone tonight to talk a little bit about our pain management system and just the powerhouse behind that. I really believe that there's nothing on the market at all that can touch the products that we have and the power behind them. There's no medication, there's no over-the-counter equal to what we have within our pain management system. And I've been using it now for over 4 years as part of my daily regimen. And I know that it's not only healed many chronic injuries that I've had and tons of inflammation, but it's changed the way that we approach surgeries and recovery in our family, how we live daily to increase inflammation. Hey guys, I'm so glad you're here. And I'm going to share some of my story in just a bit, but I want to really get us started on what makes these products so powerful. We're going to be talking tonight about Ease Nerve, our Ease Cream, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about MegaX because I think that there's some great benefits to that that I want us to make sure that we touch on since we're talking about all these pieces. So first, I think that it's really important that we understand that all pain is due to inflammation, and that inflammation is a major underlying factor to diseases, to most diseases. Also, we know that those acidic areas can bring in cancer cells and things like that. So when you have pain, the big thing is don't just push through the pain. I know I did that for years and years and years, and I was actually damaging myself more than if I would have just addressed it right at the time. So you really want to bring down those inflammation points. And the majority of pain meds that are on the market, they actually cause liver damage, kidney damage, GI irritation, ulcers, bleeding, and increased risk of heart attack, of strokes. So that's why what we have to offer is so important to really know about. And I think more than anything, you've got the information, and then once you have the information, see the power behind it, then you get to make choices. But I think that there's power in understanding and knowing so that you can make good choices for yourself and for your family. Our ingredients are natural, and the way that our ingredients work synergistically together, and you're going to hear some of that tonight, is why we're able to see such huge improvements while continuing to stay healthy. And I think that that's a big piece, is whenever you get on medications, there's so many side effects, and it really brings down our health, our immune system, everything. So let's just talk real quick about Ease. This is our Ease product. And it relieves both acute and chronic pain. It naturally reduces those inflammation points. And I want us to talk a little bit about the ingredients that are in them. I'm only going to touch base on some of the main ones that I really want to bring to your attention. The first one is the New Zealand green-lipped mussel. And so this is a big deal because it's shellfish. So if you're allergic to shellfish, then this would be a product that you wouldn't be able to do. But let's just listen through everything so that you can hear it all, because we also have some other products. But that's the main ingredient in Ease. So it's 100 times more powerful in reducing swelling. Now, some of you guys that follow me, you know that my daughter had ACL surgery this past summer. My husband just went through foot surgery. Reducing of swelling has been huge. Like both times when we went to the doctor, they were so far ahead of what they believed the time frame would be for reducing swelling. I believe without a doubt it's because of the system that we're on. I love it whenever we go, because the doctor is always just kind of like, kind of in awe that our knees or our feet or different things that we have surgery. We have a lot of surgeries around here, that they look so good, that they look so healthy, that their skin looks so healthy. So that's a big deal for the green-lipped mussel that's in here. It helps regenerate your joints and your tissues. It supports gut health, which is crazy to think about, supports gut health. And guys, it can actually act as a prebiotic. which makes your gut balanced, and it also allows your gut to thrive. So it's an excellent ingredient. The next thing I want to talk about is the serapeptase that is in this. It's the most powerful enzyme in nature that is in the Ease product. It reduces inflammation by thinning the fluids formed around the injury. So inflammation goes into that space. It actually facilitates the fluids that are damaged, and it speeds the tissue repair. So it helps you feel more calm. This is something that I think is super interesting too whenever you study a little bit about these ingredients, because not only is it taking care of managing pain, but the good side effects, if you will, are really, really fantastic for our health. So it makes you feel a little bit more calm. So for those with a high anxiety, the Ease actually can help that for many of you. The areas that this can help is like fibrocystic breast disease, ear, nose, and throat infections. So in our family, whenever you start getting a sore throat or your nose you start sniffing a little bit, whenever your nose gets clogged up, you have inflammation there. So when you start feeling just a little bit under the weather, we add Ease into our children's regimen. I actually take it every single day, but we add it into their regimen. We also add in 1 extra X factor. So that has helped us tremendously with not being sick throughout the year. So it also helps with swelling after surgery. We talked a little bit about that. It helps with carpal tunnel syndrome. It helps with asthma, helps with COPD and rheumatoid arthritis. So that is just that one ingredient can take care of all those things. The other thing I want to talk to you about is bromelain. And bromelain is actually derived from the pineapple, one of my favorite fruits. And it is an enzyme that actually breaks down the protein for digestion. So this is pretty cool to hear a little bit about this ingredient. It treats inflammation, it treats injury, but it also helps with antiviral activity. So allergies and asthma. The greatest side effect of the bromelain is that it improves your digestion. It's better acid balance in the body, which helps with that inflammation, and it helps with a stronger immune system. So one thing for our family that has been a really big deal is that I feel like that we're going into our surgeries or whenever we have these injuries already with that stronger immune system, which is going to help with that recovery. But a lot of that's because we're very preventative with our Ease. The next really big ingredient is turmeric. And I was just speaking this week at dinner with a friend that takes a turmeric supplement because of inflammation, which is excellent. I love doing turmeric shots a lot of times, but what I want you to understand is the ingredients of the turmeric, the type of turmeric that we always get the highest quality turmeric, but what makes this a powerhouse is how we put the ingredients together for them to work synergistically together. So that just increases everything. That just kind of ups the game. So I think it's wonderful to take a turmeric supplement, but don't think that just that is going to be able to do what this form of a product does. So it's a very, very powerful antioxidant. It helps fight cancer, it reduces stress, it strengthens the immune system, and it's a natural liver detoxer. So it's excellent to have for those reasons. This is a really cool thing is that turmeric is it's fat soluble, which that means that it needs a fat carrier to absorb it. And guess what is the fat carrier in our Ease? Is the green-lipped mussel. It's your good, healthy fat. Now, many of you have really been increasing good, healthy fats. We're learning how great they are for our bodies and how great they are for our brain health. So the green-lipped mussel actually has that. It's the healthy fat that is great for hormone health, and it's great for just feeling kind of stable and calm. So super fantastic. But it also, what I love about it is that the turmeric is known to slow down or even stop Alzheimer's disease, and it helps balance our blood sugar. So once again, in these products, as with our gut health products, our main focus is gut being healthy, inflammation and blood sugar stabilization. And you're hearing that within our pain management system, because whenever you have all that together, bring down those inflammation points, it's going to reduce that pain, but it's also going to help all these other areas with gut health and blood sugar stabilization. Pretty cool. So the bottom line is that our Ease has super enzymes in it that break down those proteins that are in our body that honestly don't belong where they are. They go into your bloodstream, into your cartilage, into your fibrous tissues, and that's when we start feeling kind of icky. Our joints begin to swell. Have you just had it to where you just have swelling of your joints and you're questioning why? It's because these proteins are going into areas that they don't need to be going into. And so those enzymes go in, they break down those proteins, and they remove it out of your system. So many people, including myself, take Ease every single day to combat inflammation on a continual basis. I take anywhere from 2 to 4 a day just for maintenance, just to fight that inflammation. But one of our leaders, I'm fascinated with her. She is a certified health coach. She takes 6 of the Ease every single day just to combat inflammation. She is in no pain. She has no injury. That is just for combating. And this is why. Because the toxins that are in the air, in the quality of our air, that is an inflammatory. It's going to bring inflammation into our bodies. Coffee is an inflammatory. Creamer in your coffee is an inflammatory. Now, some of you guys do half and half and things like that, but that yummy creamer that so many people love, it's going to bring inflammation into your system. So does dairy, so does gluten, so do many forms of meat is an inflammatory. So there are many, many foods. Our environment, stress, all of those different things bring inflammation onto our body on a continual basis. And so to combat that, you can take Ease just for that. You don't have to be saying, well, I don't have an injury or I don't have pain. You have inflammation most probably in your system in some way. The next one that I want us to look at is Nerve. I love this product. Nerve is, we have nerve damage and neuropathy. It's always related to multiple things that are going on in our system. Injury, disease, side effects of medications can actually bring nerve damage or neuropathy, diabetes, chemotherapy, cancer, things like that. So the thing that I think that we need to understand more than anything is that 80 million Americans suffer from some form of nerve-related pain. And it's important to understand that most of those cases are from chronic pain involve, both nerve damage and inflammation. But mainstream medicine, this is what's so key. And I think that this is why Nerve is so important, is that our mainstream medicines, our prescription drugs that are out there, they have no effective way to treat nerve damage and to stimulate the body to produce nerve growth factor. You can ask any doctor about that. They can help with the pain, but they can't help with the nerve damage, and Nerve does. So Nerve contains natural compounds in it that have proven to stimulate nerve growth factor and production. And these ingredients, they actually open up the small blood vessels that feed the nerve fibers, and they maximize that nerve function. Plus, it brings prevention to further nerve damage. And so whenever I first started this, I'm sorry, I keep moving my notes around, but whenever I first started Nerve, this was a really big deal for me. At the time, I was running triathlons. I had rotator cuff injuries, but I had chronic injuries. I had chronic hamstring tears. I was having issues with my Achilles. I was overdoing my body. And I should have stopped, but I didn't stop. The thing that really got me on the Nerve was understanding not only was it going to help with my nerve damage that had already been done, but it was going to be a preventative for further nerve damage. That's why I take this one as a maintenance every single day, because of what I do to my body and how I work my body out. That's a really big deal for me. A really big ingredient, one of the main ingredients that is in it, is a B12. And this is super important because there's all forms of B12 out there. So a lot of people might say, I already take a B12. Ours is called methylcobalamin. I'm going to always get that wrong. So methylcobalamin. I still don't say it right. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect at these words. They're pretty big. So I'm just going to be real to say I can't say that word. But this is what it is. You guys can laugh with me on that. It's super important to understand this because it helps with nerve regeneration. And that's what the big deal is about this B12. We also have alpha lipoic acid in the nerve. Now that is also in our Slim, which I think is super cool because that is a green plant. So it's a natural, all of our ingredients are natural, but that's a green plant that actually is an anti-inflammatory. It's a very extremely potent antioxidant that is going to prevent those radical damage to the nerve tissue. So that's a pretty big deal. Two other ingredients that I really want to talk to you about is horse chestnut extract. That's going to increase your circulation in your veins and in your blood flow overall, but it also helps with Parkinson's disease. So that's a pretty big deal. And then Bircher's broom extract. Bircher's broom strengthens those blood vessels and helps increase overall circulation. So that is our nerve. These two, whenever I first came here, I talked to Dr. Harris, who helped create these products because I'll share a little bit of my story. You heard me say I had rotator cuff injury. I had both of them were injured, did an MRI on my right one because we were going to do one surgery at a time. And I really didn't want surgery. So talked to Dr. Harris, talked about these two products. That's really whenever I started because I made the decision to try to do therapy, which I had to do therapy for 9 months, and I added these two into that, and I did not end up having surgery. I can use both arms. At the time, I couldn't put on, my jackets. I couldn't hold up my arm. I couldn't put it behind my back. I couldn't sleep at night because of the severity of the pain, and all of that has been healed. So I'm a big, big believer. But one thing Dr. Harris said was putting these two together, there's nothing on the market that has the power of these two together. And so I've continued that just from a maintenance mode. Now, I want to talk to you about Ease Cream. This is amazing. So this has immediate relief for pain, for muscle soreness. One thing that I love to talk about is whenever you put Ease and Nerve together, this is helping internally. So it's helping with the pain and taking care of everything that's going on with that inflammation internally. And this is helping externally. So it's an incredible combination together to help with that pain that you have going on. It can be used for headaches, arthritis, injuries, sunburn, tendinitis, burns, bites. We use it for so many different things. It also contains the lipronol in it, which is that potent anti-inflammatory. So it's also in your Ease cream. Has aloe in it, and aloe actually reverses skin aging, but it also helps with collagen. It helps with elastin. It has menthol in it. Menthol and capsicum and menthol are both natural painkillers. So that is also in our Ease cream. And so it's super great. It's been used for, bursitis, rheumatoid arthritis. I love for people to put it onto their hands if they have arthritis or their knees. It's excellent for TMJ. I have TMJ. I feel like I'm pretty much symptom free. I do still wear my brace in my mouth if I go out of town. Sometimes I forget it. But my TMJ, whenever I first started, I really had to put that. I would put it right on my jawbones, and it really pulled back some of that pressure. Okay. Lastly, and we're gonna be done for the night. So thanks for sticking with me. Is MegaX, and I really want to talk about this. This is our plant-based omega. it is from the oil of the ahi flower. It's a powerhouse omega. So it's not from fish. It doesn't have mercury in it. You don't have the fish burps that we always hear about. But I really want to look at it from a pain management system, because it's a great one to add in if you have severity of pain or neuropathy or anything like that. So our MegaX has all of the omegas. It's a complex. So it has your 3, 6, and 9. It also has your 5 and your 7. It's heart health and brain health. But I want you to hear about some of these and how it helps from the standpoint of pain. So the omega-3 helps fight inflammation and has been shown to prevent heart disease, lupus, stroke, eczema, rheumatoid arthritis. Your omegas 5 and 7, they actually increase the body's resilience to environmental toxins. So you heard me talk a little bit about that in regards to taking the E's every day, just trying to bring down those points. So it helps with that. It helps with stress, which is really key to preventing premature aging. But it also, the 5s and the 7s actually prohibit inflammation. So it's a great one to add. 7 also, omega-7, reduces excess cholesterol and triglycerides. And then 5 is a really big one. It actually mimics your non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, such as aspirins, but it doesn't have the side effects that those have. So that might be something that you want to add if you have not already added that and you're dealing some way with that. So you heard me share a little bit about my story and how I got started with it. It helped with rotator. I haven't had any injuries. It helped with all of my muscle tears that I had that were just very chronic. Prior to getting on this system, I was a person that was drinking 2 different forms of fish oils and was taking 12 Advil a day. I knew I was killing my system, knew I was hurting my liver, but you might be someone that was like myself, and whenever you have severe pain, you will do anything to try to rid of it. And I could have stopped everything I was doing, but I didn't want to stop. Now, I know many of you are at a place where you're debilitated, like you can't even get out and go for walks and be active. And so my prayer, my hope is for you to get better. But it helped with all of that. My husband, he was kind of my guinea pig in the beginning, but he has had shoulder surgery, foot surgery just this past week. He's had hand surgery. I think his whole little body is worn out from too much athletics in high school and college. But we use it as a pre and a post surgery, and it has been huge. Our daughter, as I told you, had ACL this past summer. She used it as pre and post and moved very quickly through the process. They said it would be at least 4 months before she was out running again, and she was running within 2 months. Everything about her, the swelling, the inflammation, the coloring of her skin, the healing of the incision, all of those different things went way faster than they ever expected it to go. And then my son, Joseph, it's helped him greatly. AAU basketball all through high school, so year-round basketball tournaments every week, where you would have anywhere from 3 to 6 games in a weekend. And for people that work out in that form, your body almost is robotic. It hurts so bad. And for him, he was able to recover very, very quickly and be able to overcome those injuries. It really did change the way that he competed and the abilities that he had because of that recovery. So that's our pain management system. I thank you for being with us. If you have any questions, please ask them. I'm more than welcome to answer. Like I said, I take them. Oh, I did want to talk to you about this. Loading doses. That's going to be a big question, and it might have been asked, and I haven't seen it. But a couple of things on these two, which is your nerve and your ease. The loading dose, the common loading dose is 6 of each. So 6 nerve and 6 ease every day. You can do 2, 3 times a day. I will tell you that Dr. Harris, who I worked with 4.5 years ago whenever I had severe rotator cuff injuries and was looking at surgery, allowed me to know that I could do up to 12. of each, and it would not harm in any way. It has no side effects. It in no way goes against any other prescriptions that you're on, so it doesn't void anything out. You don't have to be concerned about any of those things. So the way that I have worked with my clients is if they are severe chronic pain, if they have severe back injury of some kind, if they're debilitated to where honestly they don't want to get up the next day, I will do that extreme loading dose for them and bring them off of that slowly. I usually have to put them at that for a week or two and then pull them down to where 6 and 6 a day. But for the majority of people, they can do 6 of each as their loading dose and then be able to pull down from there to be able to get the relief that they need and bring down the inflammation points. The one thing that I would say, especially in the beginning, whenever you start these, I would really highly recommend that you take them with food, especially the E's, or you're going to feel a little bit nauseated. So make sure that you put proteins with it whenever you take it. Take it with a pretty dense meal so that you won't feel those side effects. Guys, thanks so much for being with me tonight. If you have any questions, please ask them. I'm always available. And I appreciate you guys. If any of you have testimonies towards this, I would love for you to share it in the comments so that everyone can glean from your wisdom and from your experience. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great night.